Hey y'all, Irix guy here. Welcome back to another live show. Obviously, if you're watching this, you can comment in real time. You can choose to super chat, support the channel. Man, I've been out of commission the past few days. I've had I don't want to talk about that virus that's going around, but I've been sick. Just had a cough and had like all kinds of like congestion in the chest, and I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? But I'm ticking again today, and I'm out here getting my hike in and just my walk and getting the live show cranked back up. Gonna be doing a lot of Irish Guys Adventure Channel live shows from the studio. Also timepieces for tomorrow live shows. Governor 706 live shows. Governor 706 is the video game live streams that I do. So I'll be doing a lot with the PS5. Learned a lot more about the Battlefield. Welcome aboard, everyone. Battlefield 2042 kind of had a lackluster initial impression in the eyes of many, and but it's actually quite good. They've released a lot of updates, a lot of the bug fixes, and I'm really starting to like it. I'm starting to learn the interface more. I think one of the things that irritated a lot of people about Battlefield 2042, including myself, was a lot of the controls were different, just enough to irritate you. Navigating the menus, that was challenging. Just things that shouldn't have been challenging. But overall, now that they've released a few updates, Battlefield 2042, at least on the PlayStation 5, the PS5, I feel that it's getting a lot better, and it's a good. It's one of those things. I'm not a big gamer, but I do want to live stream, and that's a great game to live stream. So I'm looking forward to doing that, man. Sharing some tips and tricks of the trade, but. Yeah, so we got got a bunch of stuff coming to the channel, and I've been working on one of my biggest pushes recently has just been counteracting inflation, and it's one of those situations. I mean, everything down to a tube of toothpaste, laundry detergent, paper towels, toilet paper, you name it. Anything that could go up in price has gone up in price. So what I've been working on is visualizing and putting into effect multiple new revenue streams, because in the past it was a situation where someone could potentially work one job and make enough to get by, but now even working 2 or 3 or 4 jobs is probably not even enough. So I've been working on putting together some new revenue streams. I never thought I would mess with the platform, just because I'm a huge YouTuber, and YouTube's my number one platform. But you get desperate, you got to make some more money, so you start looking at other things. So I've been looking at TikTok. So I posted my first 2 TikTok, and I wouldn't call them videos. They're videos, but it's goofy. It's just a short form type interface, unlike YouTube, where you can post really long videos, and that's what I prefer, is the more in-depth videos. But I did do a few on TikTok as a test. So I posted one that was just it was a bear. I was out in the wilderness, and it was just a bear climbing a tree with this goofy soundtrack. So that was one of the videos, and then the other video, the second video that I posted to TikTok, was Jeffrey Epstein's island. So I'm going to use those 2 as kind of a test. Obviously I'm a lot older than the typical TikToker, so I don't know. I'm not going to go all in. Time is money. So I just put a few videos that I feel could potentially test the waters on TikTok and see how they ignite. Because if that gets above, I think, to monetize, and see, that's what I got to figure out. It's completely different than YouTube monetization. So I've got to figure out how the TikTok monetization works. But I think I think there is a financial opportunity there, and I'm not going to pass it up. But again, I'm not going to invest a lot of time into it. I want to see how do these two potentially trendable videos, how quickly or how slowly do they trend? Because for me, it's all about the money. And I like to enjoy what I'm doing. And I can't really say that TikTok is really my thing. I mean, it's more of a, I don't know, you know what's on TikTok, just a bunch of stupid stuff. And maybe I'm being unfair about the platform, and I don't know. But anyway, it's another potential revenue stream. So, something I'm going to try to tap into and see if it can provide additional financial value, and then also overall discoverability, because ultimately, I can push viewers from one platform to another. YouTube is my number one. YouTube will always be my number one. But, these other sites that kind of pop up and grow popularity. Brad Henderson, welcome aboard, sir. Brad, always an honor, not just a pleasure, but always an honor to have you. So, no, nothing new, man. Just trying to find some additional revenue opportunities. And did you ever pick up the Mavic 3? I don't think you did you? I remember one of the last live streams, you were I think you had mentioned it, but I think you were one of the people that wasn't going to get it. Maybe I'm wrong. So I know you've got the DJI FPV and the Mavic. Yeah, 3's a tough sell. I mean, that, the two versions in that lower tier version, man, that's a lot of cash for nothing on paper more than it is as far as newness. So yeah, that's so what you got going on, Kyle C? All right, dudes. Yeah, the Air 3. I think Brad, I'm going to be an Air 3. I'd like, honestly, what I'd really like, I'd like to see a DJI Mini 3 that has a 1-inch sensor camera. I think that right there would just be the kill-all. One and done. Get it. You got 1-inch sensor. You got USB rechargeability. What else would one want? Let's see. So Kyle C, what's new with you today? We got you. We got Brad. Got a few other people lurking back there. That video, how to take a dump in the woods, is hilarious. Hey, I appreciate that. Anything I can do to provide potential value, I'm going to film it, and I'm going to do everything I can to provide value for the viewers out there. I mean, that's the thing. And I mean, how to use the restroom in the woods, man. How to poop in the woods. How to take a dump in the woods. How to take a dump in the wilderness. It's one of those things. If you've ever been out in the backcountry, especially with the people that are kind of first timers, you can spot them. They've just left the outdoor store, and they've got all the thousands of dollars of gear, and they're trying to look cool, and there's not a speck of dirt on them or their gear. And they hit the trail, and then as soon as they get in there, they realize there's a lot more to this. Do you still have any of your old drone? Oh yeah, D. Heller, I certainly do. I need to actually pop them out and film some videos. But yeah, these people that get on the trail for the first time, everybody starts somewhere. But the people that assume that just because they buy the gear and they watch a few videos or, read a few, I mean, now it's videos and web, it's not books anymore, but they think they know what they're doing, and you see them out there, and it's the common things on the trail where people slip up, the first timers. Number one is, how much should you pack? Well, a lot of people pack too much of the luxury goods, and they don't pack enough of the essentials. They may be going into cold weather. They may have packed a ton of food and snacks, but they neglected to pack an acceptably warm sleeping bag. Some people may forget the water purifier. I mean, there's only so much water that one can carry on their back. You need to have a proper purification device and container to collect that water in that's been purified. So, there's a lot of things that people, that newbies in the backcountry especially, they haven't thought about because they've never been presented with the opportunity to discover and work around those challenges in the wilderness. And one of the biggest things, to your point about how to take a dump in the woods, how to poop in the woods, that's one of the biggest things that I've found, regardless of experience level. People in the backcountry, I mean, a lot of people, they would tend to throw in some steaks. No, man, steaks are too expensive. Well, sirloin's a pretty affordable. Well, I shouldn't say affordable. I would say a sirloin is a less expensive cut right now, but I refuse to pay the market premium for where everything is right now. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm just gonna eat some soup and some crackers. But yeah, man, how to take a dump in the woods, and that's a big thing to learn, because once you do that, you can go out in the country. I mean, in the backcountry, and not have to worry about how many days you're out there, because you can comfortably go to the restroom and not have to think twice about it. But that's the thing. People that are new to backpacking, people that have only done tent camping, where they've got a restroom on the premises, something like a campground or something. People think that's camping. That's not camping. That's basically throwing up a shelter in an area with amenities like restrooms and all of that. Backcountry is when you go up top of a mountain and sleep, and when you're up there, you still got to go to the bathroom. It's not like, ooh, you're on top of a mountain, so you don't have to go to the bathroom. You still have to go. And some people just get miserable when they don't. And it's because they don't know how. Because if people know how to poop in the woods, they can make themselves more comfortable. And I'm glad you liked that video. Yeah, that was a product of just trying to identify things that people need to know. And did that one, how to poop in the woods, and then I did how to, completely unrelated, not related to the backcountry, but still tutorial, how-to content, how to remove water spots or soap spots from a shower door. A lot of times you get soap scum on the shower door, especially if it's glass and it's not the frosted glass, just like the clear see-through kind of glass. It's important to know how to get that off. So, I posted a video explaining how to remove soap spots from a glass shower door, and I think that's going to be a big, heavy-hitting video. It's already trended quite quickly. So, that's the thing. Anything, the quest recently has been anything that can fail, or anything that can be misused. Common things, just things that people encounter every day, or not necessarily every day, but at least once a week or once a month. How do you fix that? And there's all kinds of stuff. There's dishwashers, there's ice makers, and freezers. There's opportunities to create a tutorial for so much type of stuff, and so many different things, and that's what I'm looking for. And sometimes, as frustrating as it seems, sometimes when something breaks, in the past I'd be upset. I'd be like, man, that broke. But looking at it from a YouTube video content creator's perspective, when something breaks, it's a financial opportunity, because if you can fix it, and you can share the how to fix it with others and potentially save others money, they don't have to make a service call or anything like that. You've created content of value. So, for that reason, when something breaks now, I'm excited, because I'm like, okay, that's something that broke for me, and, surely that's something that's broken for others as well. And it was, it's an opportunity. Anytime something breaks, that's an opportunity to create a how to fix it. And that's That's kind of the thing I'm looking for. And not that I would intentionally break things, but I've kind of gone out on a limb, in this this state of rapid inflation that we're in right now. Lux Report, welcome aboard. Lux Report, you sold Archibald Chesterfield III that awesome YouTube channel, I think. But yeah, just ways to create additional revenue streams, and that's what I'm looking for. So anything that I can figure out, how can it be broken and how can it be fixed, and share that. Nothing's off limits. I mean, from dishwashers to garbage disposals to how to fix a toilet paper holder on your bathroom wall. Everything is free game. And that's what I'm looking for, just content. Obviously, on the other side of this fence, Lux Report, I've actually been watching your channel for years. I know, that's awesome. Yeah, it's Lux Report, as you know, probably more than anybody. I mean, as a content creator, and by the way, congrats for getting that channel well over 100,000 subscribers. That's an accomplishment. I mean, that's even more so today. That's a huge accomplishment, breaking through the 100,000 subscriber mark. So yeah, it's not easy at all. And that's I was talking here. I know you just joined in. AJ, welcome aboard. What's up with you today, sir? Welcome to the live stream, man. Just trying to burn some fat. I'm down with the sickness, man. I've been sick. I've had congestion in my lungs. I've been crackling while I breathe. It's been crazy. But that's why I haven't been live streaming the past few days. I've been, sometimes when you get that, Merry Christmas to you and your family. As always, you too. Merry Christmas. We'll be here before we know it. But yeah, just, getting that rest, and, sometimes it's best to rest and recover before you resume the routine, the workout routine, the YouTube routine. Before you resume that routine, make sure you're well recovered. And I feel about 90%, well, about 80%. Ofi, welcome. Good to have you from the UK, sir. So, yeah, it's good to have everybody here. And I want to do a studio live show. I think this evening I may actually do. AJ, what's going on? Seems like you're keeping yourself being active. That's a good thing. Let's see. I need to do the same thing. I have a 2-year-old. Yep. We've got a 4-year-old daughter, so I know exactly where you're coming from on that. Lux Report says your clickbait got me today. I wanted to know how to enable super likes. I did. Let's see. AJ says, I did get the Mavic 3, but I got bored with it already. Well, I'm glad you told me that, because I didn't get it, and based upon you saying you're bored with it already, it doesn't seem like one to buy. So Lux Report, super thanks. Great question. So super thanks. I know Lux Report's a big YouTuber. Anybody out here that's like big into content creating and trying to open up additional revenue streams, super thanks, not to be confused with super chat. So if you watch, for example, Archie Luxury Corporate, Archie Luxury live stream, he does live streams. He's got a format together where he says, hey, if I'm going to read your comment during a live stream, you've got a super chat. People don't have to, but it's just a thing that he's created so that basically it encourages more people to super chat. It's a choice they make. They're not forced into it. But super chats are only available for live shows. They're not available for previously recorded content. So what that means is that if you're going to collect the super chats, you've got to be live. If you're not live, you don't have a way to do it until YouTube created what's called super thanks. Now what super thanks is, think of super thanks as a tip jar, but it's not for your live shows. Super chats, you're right, Lux Report. Super chats work on Premiere also. So if you publish a YouTube video and you do Premiere, which makes it's a premiere. You watch it live and interact with your audience when people first watch it. You can do Premiere and do a super chat. So people can super chat you during the premieres. The problem is that, and I think it seems like Vulture Report's probably encountering the same challenge. Even though I have super chats, and even though when I go into my monetization interface on YouTube and see super thanks, and not to misquote the verbiage, but the verbiage is basically, oh, you know, super thanks is being rolled out in beta form to select creators. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm already monetized. I've already got super chat. You know, why don't I have super thanks? You know, it's like super chats. You know, YouTube takes a cut of those as well. So it would seem in my opinion, it would behoove YouTube to get that rolled out ASAP, because they're taking a cut, to my knowledge, of the super thanks as well as the super chats. So why wouldn't YouTube want to expedite rolling that out? So I contacted YouTube today through I've got a little portal in my YouTube where I can chat with YouTube leadership, and I just asked. I said, hey, I want to follow up. Noticed super thanks has not been enabled on my channel yet. You know, I've got a lot of how-to videos in particular that I would love to have that opportunity to collect tips from my viewers that choose to donate. And they checked, and the gist of it, you know, not to misquote YouTube, but it said, oh, you know, we're rolling it out, but obviously there's no definitive timeline as to when it'll appear. So I don't know when I'm going to get super thanks, and I'm missing out. And I just said, well, hey, I said, you know, I really want it. I create a ton of content, and, you know, I'm trying to, you know, do everything I can to combat inflation. You know, I got to create additional revenue streams. You know, 4, 5, 6, 7 is not enough. You know, I've got to have more money coming in to combat this inflation. But nevertheless, Lux Report, they didn't. It's not enabled for my channel yet. If you have any luck with getting super thanks enabled for any of your channels, let me know the trick, because I'm desperate to get it. And it's so streamlined with YouTube. You know, with super thanks, it's tightly integrated with the YouTube ecosystem. Whereas, if you use Patreon or something, you're sending people to a third-party site, and that's not as tightly integrated. Well, it's not integrated at all, really. So there aren't any other, in my opinion, true options out there. So if you find a way to do it, I would definitely appreciate it, because I definitely need to get as many revenue streams going on my channel ASAP. AJ says, don't get it, in my opinion. The Mavic 2S is better. I think better resolution. Interesting. And AJ says Tesla is going to make a cyber boat. Well, that's going to be a nightmare. You get out on the lake or the ocean, you run out of electricity. Yeah, well, maybe they'll put solar panels on it. So you run out, you anchor up, and you recharge, as long as it's not dark out. Who knows? Lux Report says, affiliate link, sponsorships, Patreon, sell stuff, merch, etc., many other ways to monetize. Yeah, I've got not always the best way to get revenue. You're right. Fly Right Jones says, hey, Irish guy, welcome aboard, Fly Right. Always good to have you, sir. Yeah, Lux Report, I do the merch. I've got the merch store actually below this live stream and below all my videos. I've got very high quality merch that I sell through my merch store. Actually, when I do the timepieces for tomorrow live show, and I think I may do one this evening, I'll be wearing my official timepieces for tomorrow sweatshirt, and I got that from my merch store. I've got pint glasses, I've got coffee mugs, I've got t-shirts, and that's, merch is, it's a good way to add a little bit of revenue. The only challenge with merch is that, typically, once you've sold a person merch once, unless you've got a really good variety, shirts and keychains and other things they might want, it's probably going to be a one and done purchase. And that's, I'm not saying it doesn't add value. It definitely adds value, because, every dollar I can make on a monthly basis matters. So the merch is just as important as the advertising revenue. So, but yeah, I really want that super thanks. And that's funny you saw that video I posted. I hope a lot of people see it, and I hope it stirs a reaction. I know somebody that has it, and I asked him during a live show, I think it was last night, Ushin from, I think he's from Venice. Ushin was on AC3's live show. I was on there, and I was asking how he got it. He wasn't really sure how he got it, but he's got it on his YouTube channel. Super thanks. But his channel's blown up. He's already passed the 50,000 subscriber mark, which is, I'm sure he'll be well over 100,000 subscribers in no time. He's got really good content, really good production quality. But yeah, man, that super thanks is important. And so what else we got going on? We got drones. We got, I don't know. I'm glad to be up and upright and walking around and burning some fat off again, man. It's being sick. It's no fun. And yeah, it's no fun being sick and having to recover. But it's better to be sick and recover than to be sick and march forward and just prolong the sickness. Let's see. Lux Report says, a super easy way for you to get free expensive stuff and easy video content is to ask companies related to your content for free stuff to review, unbox, etc. Yeah, no doubt. And I've had them send me lots of free expensive tech on the previous tech. It's probably an avenue. What I want, Lux Report, to your point, what I want is to establish I guess you would call it kind of a cross-promotional relationship with a wristwatch dealer, so that I can get watches shipped to me for the purposes of reviewing, and then obviously ship them back. But also push traffic from those reviews to the dealer, so that if somebody likes what they see, then hopefully they'll make a purchase from that dealer, and obviously have affiliate links there, so that I could collect a finder's fee, a commission for for pushing that business their way that converted into a sale. That's something I want to do. When it comes to the tech stuff, I'm very selective about what I'll review. Oh, well, I'll take that back. I'll review pretty much anything, but I'm not a huge fan of getting stuff shipped to me. I mean, even if it's disclosed, hey, whatever. Unless it's something I'm going to buy myself, I don't really like to review it. The exception, of course, would be wristwatches, if I can establish that. And I posted a video asking for that connection. It's a timepieces for tomorrow video. I just said looking for a relationship with a watch dealer, because that's where I need to review that kind of stuff. I've got to have a connection where I can get my hands on the actual watches to video and talk about during videos and live shows, and really raise awareness when it comes to that particular watch. But they're expensive, so I've got to have some sort of professional relationship with a watch dealer that can provide me the watches to review. So that's where I want to go. That is something, if anybody out there is watching that knows a reputable wristwatch dealer that has an online selling presence, that's the type thing that I'm looking for, to establish that relationship. Lux Report said he's made good money from DJI affiliate program, just uploading unboxing videos of DJI products. I've made enough for free drones, camera gimbals. Yeah. And actually, I think, didn't DJI discontinue their affiliate program? Because it was a situation where they sent out this announcement, and it wasn't like it was gone forever, but the verbiage didn't suggest it was coming back. It was one of those things like, and I don't know if you know anything about that, but yeah, I pushed. So all of the, historically, I would push my, oh, it is up and running. Really? That's strange, because, well, I'll have to check it out. Because, see, I had pivoted, because I use URL shortener on all of my, I administer my own URL shorteners. That way if I have to pivot and go from, from retailer A to retailer B, I just update the URL, and it does for all my, I don't have to go through the individual videos. I just use the, use my URL shortener. So what I had going to DJI in the past when I did their affiliate program and I don't know, I'll have to check and see if they re-enabled it, but it was discontinued for, and it didn't imply it was coming back. So if it's back, it's probably a good thing. I probably need to adjust my links. But I adjusted all my DJI links. Instead of going to DJI, my affiliate links, now they go to Amazon. So they're just going to the DJI store on Amazon, which is probably, in all sincerity, more convenient for people anyway. So I may just keep them on Amazon, even if DJI's, re-enabled the affiliate program. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of ways to make money on social media. The problem is, though, is just, it's keeping up with, yeah, I'll do that. It's just keeping up with inflation, because, I mean, everything right now, here's the thing, even if you're, even if you're making more, you're really not, because the price of everything's going up. So, even if your business ramps up because the cost of goods, everything, utilities, everything, you're really not making any more. It's still the same situation. You're just bringing in more, but you're spending more. So it's just it's a very annoying time for business owners, because, number one, none of us know, how soon, or if ever, will this rapid inflation stop. So, I'm just trying to diversify as much as possible. And let's see, Lux Report says, were you a silver stacker? I think I found you years ago. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I've been doing silver. Actually, I'm a late adopter. I started in 2000. Yeah, it was 2009, 2010. Because when I got married, we actually met a numismatist at the got married, went to a honeymoon on Peter Island in the British Virgin Islands. And when we were down there, we met this other couple, and then he was a numismatist and was telling about coins, and I kind of got on board then. That was way before silver ran up to $50 an ounce. So, I got in, and there's something about tangible assets that are enticing, because, it's, if you say, hypothetically, somebody, and gold more so than silver, but if somebody had set a, gold coin, 1 ounce gold coin, let's say it was $100 an ounce at the time, and then they also put a $100 bill right beside that coin when gold was $100 an ounce. If you looked at that same thing today, that $100 paper bill would still be $100. The gold coin would be, what is it, $1,700, $1,800, whatever it is, whatever the spot price of gold is today. I don't have it up, but just a real world example of how tangible assets, hard assets, especially during inflationary times, they tend to, well, like they say, they're hedged against the dollar. So there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, pretty much I like to look at the facts, and the facts are that, well, people can put spin on anything. They can try to spin things however they choose to twist the words and make it appear a certain way. The bottom line is that we're experiencing hardcore inflation. And for someone that wants to realize that, I mean, just, look at a grocery receipt from 2 years ago. Look at those same items today. There's inflation. There's no denying it. Everything's gone up. toilet paper, laundry detergent, soap, you know, microwavable burritos. You know, even the cheapest of cheap has gone up. Cheese. You can't even make a grilled cheese sandwich now without spending $5 or $6 for a pack of cheese. It's ridiculous. So there's actually kind of a hack I've got for that, and that's instead of buying the little slices of cheese, or the blocks, I'll buy the shredded cheese because it seems to be a little bit cheaper. And then I'll just put the shredded cheese on bread and make a grilled cheese. I mean, it all melts the same. And see, people don't realize that. They're like, ooh, I've got to get the individually wrapped pieces of cheese. And the thing is with that, those are a lot more expensive, number one, because of convenience. And number two, yeah, Mike says worst inflation over 40 years. Yeah, and it's only going to get worse. And I'm an optimist. But yeah, and you know, then you got the plastic that wraps each individual piece. Plastic's expensive. So you got the, you know, those slices of cheese, you may pay $5 or $6 for a pack of that versus, you know, a bag of generic shredded cheese that you might get lucky and pay $2 or $3. So, you know, that's one way to save. Another way to save is I do not buy, if I'm getting fast food, number one, I don't buy any drinks. So a good example, a popular fast food restaurant, Subway. Not the best, not the worst, but you can probably remember the $5 footlong days. You could get a footlong for $5, which is pretty decent value. Now, if you go into Subway, in most places, you know, you're lucky, because I would always go to the Spicy Italian because that was the cheapest sub on the menu. I kind of use it as a point of reference. I mean, now you're lucky to get that footlong sub only for under $8 or $9. You know, then if you add the chips and the drink, you know, you're tipping well over 10, probably $10 to $12. So the trick that I use is I never buy chips. I never buy drinks. And there's something you can do. You can get the and see, I don't drink. Typically, I drink. Oh, cellulose. That's not good. And that's the other thing. You know, you get on these, you know, penny pinching things, and then you're cutting corners. To your point, Vox Report, you're getting stuff that's not, you know, not necessarily healthy for you. So, yeah, what I'll do, I'll get the. This isn't healthy, but I'll just buy the big sack of, you know, the small sacks of chips. So I've got like basically 2 weeks worth of chips, and then I'll just get a water, and then that way I just buy the sub and I don't buy the combo. So I spend $6, $7 instead of 12. That's where they'll get you, man. People will stiff you with the drinks and the side items. You know, if you can get your own at a reasonable discount, there's no reason not to. It's not being cheap. It's just every penny, every dollar adds up. So, you know, it's a hustle. You know, as we all know here in YouTube, got to hustle to survive, and you really got to hustle to thrive. You know, and I'm not one to just survive. So, you know, I'm, you know, I got almost over this sickness that I got, and I'm just hitting it full throttle, just trying to get everything, you know, pumped up as hard as I can. So, you know, there's, I hope I get that super thanks feature, because that's annoying that it's not enabled for my channel yet. And, you know, it's just a lot of stuff. Mike says, wife and I started HelloFresh meals. It's cheaper than going out, but more expensive than going to the market. But ironically, we save money because we don't. You know what? That is actually interesting that you said that, because that's what you don't think about. When you go to the grocery store, you get all these ingredients to cook at home, but then you got leftovers, they expire. You know, maybe you got an ingredient for one meal that you'll probably never use for a similar meal just because it doesn't call for it. So it's money wasted. And that's an interesting way to look at HelloFresh. We did, my wife and I did HelloFresh a few times, and it's actually it's actually really good. The ingredients they sent us were good. The recipes were easy to follow, and most importantly, it seemed like a very a healthy meal. I mean, it really did. Lunch Report says, "Are you into prepping? I highly recommend to also help with inflation." Oh yeah, no doubt. Yep. I do a lot of the prepping that I do is primarily it's survival skills, wilderness skills, this, that, and the other. Because if things get really bad, I mean, well beyond where we are right now. But if things get really bad, there's going to be there's going to be several needs. There's going to be, number one, the need to survive. And there's so many people in today's society that couldn't crack a few sticks and start a campfire. So, there's going to be the need for people with wilderness skills, not just to save themselves, but to educate and, create a more knowledgeable society, because people are just totally in the dark when it comes to basic survival skills. That's one form of prepping. Obviously always have that bug out bag ready, just in case things really hit the fan and, you need to go to your bug out location. And that's, again, I'm not a paranoid person, but, I always have my water purification, my solar chargers, quite a few MREs, enough that I could live, off of those for a few weeks, just ready to go in a bug out bag, and tent, of course, to stay dry, sleeping bag to stay warm, just stuff that you need if things really hit the fan and you need to, for lack of a better word, bug out and go to a different location. So, yeah, the Lunch Report, that's definitely something I'm aware of and feel that I'm quite prepared for. I've been doing wilderness adventures since I was very young, so I'm sure there's people that have a lot more outdoor experience than I do, but I definitely feel that I have enough. If I was had to bug out, that I could probably survive and possibly even thrive off of the land. And hopefully it doesn't come to that, but everything we've seen, all the storytelling and the false information, everything that we've experienced as a society, not just the United States, but countries, globally, all of the narrative that we've all been exposed to, some people gobble it up. And the whether you feel one way or a different way about everything that's unfolded during the past few years, the reality is that we are experiencing hyperinflation, and there's no denying that. So regardless of how people may want to argue that we got here, or which individual or group of individuals were responsible, this is not a finger pointing game at this point. It's okay, we're here, and maybe we're not even there yet. Maybe we're not even close to the level of inflation that we're going to experience. I mean, maybe we're not even close to there yet. But the bottom line is that there's going to be a breaking point, and that breaking point is different for everyone. And here's the thing. I mean, the people that only work one job, I really feel bad for them, because one job's not enough anymore. And that's the truth. And the question is, though, is when is it going to get to the point, and hopefully it doesn't, but when might it get to the point to where, even multiple, 4 or 5 or 6 jobs is not enough to get by. And the worst thing is, even if someone's able to financially weather the storm, for lack of a better word, is it going to get so bad that you can't, let's say that you were thriving, let's say that, you created, whatever new startup company, and you were worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Could it be a situation where even with those hundreds of millions of dollars, that because the society is so messed up at that point in time, that you can't even, regardless of how much money you have, you can't get what you want. You can't get the good food, you can't get the good whatever. So, these are scary times. And, and this is, and that's, again, being prepared, not just prepared financially, but being prepared, just societally, I guess is that a word, societally? Being personally prepared to survive, not just from a financial perspective, but just, wilderness skills and hunting skills and fishing skills. Being able to, in essence, lead a self-sufficient lifestyle. And that's where, if you can grow stuff, you can grow vegetables and you can farm meats, you're able to be self-sufficient, especially if you have a solar panels and, battery banks, and you can, create your own electricity, and then you can just do, dig some sort of sewer for your sewer or whatever. I don't know, but there's not really a right or wrong answer to this. And it's just it's a very uncertain time. And unfortunately, I don't think the end's in sight, because, as soon as we think the end is near, then there's just something else that is created, and it creates panic, and then it continues. So I think it's going to take, it's just going to take enough people to really question what they feel is the truth. It's going to take people to proactively question. And I think once people really do their due diligence, regardless of which side of the fence they think they're on politically, once they do their due diligence, decipher all of the nonsense that we've been fed, I think that's when the truth will hopefully create a group, of like-minded people that, that can go out and can go out and fix everything. And that's the problem right now. There's not the perceived need to go out and fix it. And that's until that occurs, I don't think anything is going to happen that will be a positive. So I don't know. There's really no right or wrong answer. It's just, people just really need to sit down and analyze, and not by default accept something as truth just because of the source, that they feel that it came from a trusted source. Always question the source, even if it's a source that historically one feels has been 100% accurate. Always question it, because the thing is that, money and political influence can create persuasion that even some of the most intelligent people wouldn't even pick up on. So question it, really dig into it, find what is actually the truth. And I think once enough people do that, I think the recovery process will be near. But we're far from that. I think it's going to get a lot worse. And I just don't know. I do not know. But yeah, it is what it is.